Ruby, 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 can't you see? Sometimes your storm of memories and a grape shot just hypnotize me. Today we're trying to run it back. In my last video that you can find in the card above, I went undefeated 5-0, and we were featuring Storm of Memories at the time, this new 5-mana sorcery for 2 triple red. It has Storm. You can exile an instant or sorcery from your graveyard with mana value 3 or less, and then you cast that spell. If it would be put into a graveyard, you exile it. And one thing that I discovered during that video is that it doesn't target them all originally. It resolves them each individually without targeting at the time. So if you were to cast a Ren's Resolve and then reveal a Seething Song or Manamorphose, you can cast those spells with the other Storm of Memories on the stack and then eventually cast the Seething Song or Manamorphose off of that Storm of Memories, allowing you to go even deeper. I was really impressed by this card. I thought that it was going to be just fine, and it turned out being kind of broken. So today we're going to see if we can run back that 5-0. So many of you loved that video and the fact that this was a budget deck that you kept on asking for more. You wanted to see more Legacy Ruby Storm, not Modern. So I'm going to give that to you today. We're going to try to play this deck. I can't promise a 5-0. I don't know what a record will be, but I'll try to play well. I think the one change that I made to this deck list based on feedback was a lot of people wanted an extra land. So we put in a 9th mountain over the second copy of Wish, and ideally that will lead to less draws where you get stuck on one land. That extra land does come at a cost, because if you're in the middle of chaining with Reckless Impulse or Ren's Resolve, you're going to hit that extra land some percentage of the time. So we'll see how it works today. I don't know if I feel strongly about 16 or 17 lands, but we'll see how this goes. And if you enjoy the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff. But that's what I've got for now, so I will see you in match number 1. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, cyborg guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the draw. We've opened up a terrific hand. We're going to keep this. You could try for something turn 1 here, depending on what the opponent's doing. You could go Mountain, Rite of Flame, Desperate Ritual, Jeska's Will, Ruby Medallion, and then Burning Wish into like an Empty the Warrens or something like that. Looks like our opponent's on Cradle control today. They have 4 cards in their hand. I think we might want to do the turn 1 thing, and it's even easier with this Desperate Ritual that we drew. Okay, so I can go Rite of Flame, Desperate Ritual into another Desperate Ritual. Okay, so this is a large Empty the Warrens on turn 1. We'll play the Desperate Ritual. Now we can play the Ruby Medallion. Desperate Ritual again. Another option is I could Storm of Memories, but then we need the Jeska's Will to hit another payoff. So I'm not positive that will happen. We'll do Jeska's Will for mana here. And now we can Burning Wish. Yes. So we could make 14 goblins. We could also Galvanic Relay for 7. We could Storm of Memories and then pray that Jeska's Will hits. We'd have to find an action spell in the top 3. I could make 14 goblins. The fear is that 14 goblins might not beat an Atraxa. I'm not really sure what the move is here. Part of me thinks it's probably Galvanic Relay. Alright, we'll play the Relay. 7 cards coming off the top rope. And we'll pass. So if I had gone for the Storm of Memories, we would have hit Burning Wish, Reckless Impulse, Sandstone Needle. And that probably would have won, assuming our opponent didn't have an Endurance in their hand. They play Birds of Paradise. And now a Verdant Catacombs. They fetch for a basic forest. Green Sun Zenith for 1. They grab an Ignoble Hierarch. Okay. So I have a fear with this hand, which is we don't have enough mana. Our 7 cards did not contain a lot of mana sources. So right now I could go Ancient Tomb into Storm of Memories for 2 and hope to hit rituals out of the graveyard, but that seems really risky to me. I'm going to Reckless Impulse here. We get Seething Song. That was wonderful. We'll play... Whoops, should have played the Ancient Tomb from Exile. I got a little ahead of myself. So my bad. That was a poor play. But we hit Seething Song, which is great. Now I can play Ren's Resolve. No more lands. Okay. Let's play another Ren's Resolve. Play that Rite of Flame. We'll play the Rail Monsoon Mage and Storm of Memories. Okay, let's see what we can make happen here. I'll choose Tails. We lose the flip, Storm of Memories. And it looks like they don't have the Endurance. Well, Ren's Resolve. The Rail Monsoon Mage can flip. We win the flip. Our opponent's super dead here. Let's Manamorphose because I can. We'll make red. And now Storm of Memories. As I mentioned in the deck tech, you resolve all these individually. So whenever you reveal off a Ren's Resolve, you put new cards into the graveyard. And when you do that, Storm of Memories can then cast them as you continue to go down the chain. We get a Seething Song, we'll play it. Rite of Flame, Seething Song, all the mana in the world. I guess, technically, I need more action here. We had a Reckless Impulse. I will Manamorphose. We still have a Rail Ultimate, so I guess I don't actually need more action, but it'd be nice if it was a little easier. And then a Rite of Flame here, and the opponent just concedes. I did have the Rail Ultimate that I had not used yet, so that was still out there. But we win game number 1, and now we're going to the post-board games. Slide it down so you can see our full sideboard here. I don't think we need to sideboard in this matchup. We're good to just send it back. Our deck is already configured. How they look to attack us is with Force of Vigor, Endurance, Beseiju Who Endures, and then Collector Oof. Collector Oof doesn't matter. And then Beseiju Who Endures and Force of Vigor can only hit the Ruby Medallion. You still have Rail Monsoon Mage, and then Endurance is only good versus Storm of Memories, so your deck is naturally okay with how they're trying to attack you. So just look to have a solid hand is the best advice I can give you. They also board in Thoughtseize. So this hand is actually incredible. The only thing you need is a red mana. I'm going to choose to live the dream here on the draw. We're going to keep and just say, I'll draw a red source, which might not happen, but it could also happen, and if it does, this hand is quite good. Alright, they lead on a Bayou and Green Sun Zenith for 0. Okay. That is not a red source, so we'll play the Ancient Tomb and pass. I might be regretting my decision already. I would not keep this hand on the play, but on the draw and you're up a game, live a little. They play a White of the Reliquary, Gaia's Cradle, and Fiend Artisan. Okay. We hit the red source. It's time to go. Alright, so we'll begin with a Seething Song. They have 3 cards in hand. We'll Manamorphose. We'll do red. Another Seething Song. I'd like to Manamorphose. Red. Let's Ren's Resolve. Storm of Memories in Exile, okay. I mean, I have one in hand. I don't really need that one. Plus, it opens us up to Endurance, which I don't know if I love. I was hoping for a Reducer, but we didn't hit one. So I can play the Seething Song. I could just go Desperate Ritual, Burning Wish, Empty. But if they have Atraxa, I'm in trouble. And then the Fiend Artisan can theoretically get Atraxa if they make enough mana. So the question is, do they have the Endurance? So the Cradle can tap for 3 next turn. They already have Natural Order mana. Play the Desperate Ritual. I think we just have to play Storm of Memories. I don't really have a choice. Alright, Storm of Memories on the stack. Like, I just don't think Empty the Warrens was fast enough this game. Like, if I was on the play, I think Empty would have been good enough, but on the draw, I don't think so. And they do have the Endurance. They exile the Atraxa was in their hand. So Empty probably would have won this. Okay. And if you wait a turn, which is why I went that turn, the Fiend Artisan can go get Gaddock Teeg, and Gaddock Teeg would probably have been enough to beat me here. If I had a cost reducer, I would not have gone for Storm of Memories there. They attack for 5, ouch. They Green Sun Zenith for 1, so they're not interested in Gaddock Teeg. Okay. They grab an Ignoble Hierarch and pass. They have White of the Reliquary into Bojuka Bog, so the Storm of Memories in my hand and then the one that I drew were actually pretty awful. We'll play the Mountain. And honestly, I'm done wasting time. We can just go to game 3. We're not going to win that one. Alright, so Palmer, I think we really would have won if I had a reducer. It's just we didn't hit one, and that happens. Game 3 on the play. Amazing hand. Truly amazing. Keep. Like, I wish that one of these Sandstone Needles was a basic mountain, but other than that, this hand is incredible. They play Misty Rainforest for a Bayou, Once Upon a Time. They find Ignoble Hierarch, and they play it. Okay. Ancient Tomb means we could try to win this turn. So let's play the Tomb, Rail Monsoon Mage, Seething Song. So we played one spell that can flip the Rail, and now we'll Manamorphose, so it goes up to 2. We'll say Tails, no. Red, Reckless Impulse. This is the third spell for Rail, no. 2 lands, another Reckless Impulse. We'll say Tails, Rite of Flame. This is the 5th spell for Rail? Yeah, 5th. No. And now we'll Burning Wish. This is the 6th spell, so we are now allowed to flip it. I'll say yes. I think we grab Jeska's Will here, and we'll play it for the Impulse mode. I guess I could do it for the Mana mode. We'll do it for Mana mode here. Tails. We lose the flip. Burning Wish. Tails. Yes. Okay. And now I will grab Empty the Warrens, and we'll Ultimate the Rail. And that's going to be enough to win. Seething Song. Rite of Flame. We'll play Wish. Desperate Ritual. We'll Manamorphose. Red. Ren's Resolve. It's a Burning Wish. We'll grab the Burning Wish. Yes. We'll Storm of Memories. If they Endurance, that's fine. I could still play... I played a card off Wish, so I still have access to Grape Shot if they increase my Storm count. We'll play Seething Song. Might as well play the Manamorphose. Red. Play the Ren's Resolve. Play another Wish. Seething Song. Rite of Flame. Desperate Ritual. All the mana in the world. Who needs a bonus round? Red. Jeska's Will. We'll exile the top 3. Seething Song. Manamorphose. I just want my graveyard to be empty and for this to be over. Let's go. Rite of Flame. And Reckless Impulse. Alright, Storm 33. We'll play a Defense Grid. And then Grape Shot. Storm 35. That is how we do. Ruby Storm. That was 2 turn 2 wins this round. That was pretty impressive. Sandstone Needle's a good card. You should play it, in my opinion. After my last video, a bunch of people in the Storm Discord were like, I prefer Basic Mountain. Well, Sandstone Needle made it happen here. All right, so that's match number 1. We're 1-0. Let's head on over to the second round. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. Match number 2 on the draw. We've opened up a no land hand. We will mulligan. I have faced this person a few times over the last couple days, and they have been on Dimir tempo, so I'm going to assume that's what they're on today. Alright, so we've opened up a no land hand, but we're on the draw versus Dimir tempo, a highly interactive deck. I think we should keep this and just hope for the best. We'll keep and get rid of a Desperate Ritual. They play Underground Sea and Thoughtseize. They take 1 copy of Ruby Medallion. We did not draw the land. We'll play Ruby Medallion here. They're going to Force of Will. Okay. They open up on Thoughtseize Force of Will on their mulligan to 6. You know, average Dimir tempo draws. Alright, so they're on 3 cards now. And they ponder. Oh, they found Wasteland? You're kidding me. What a draw. Okay. We have to pass. They play a Nethergoyf. 2 cards in their hand. We are not hitting lands. They play a Tameo Inquisitive Student, still 2 cards in their hand. We'll take 3 here. We draw a Burning Wish, we'll pass. They swing, ouch. I'm at 12. They play a Ponder. This game is still within reach, I just need to draw lands. Like Sandstone Needle I would take right now. It might even be my best land I could draw. They play a Flooded Strand. Oh my. Okay. That's 5 draws in a row this game that were not lands. They play a Thoughtseize. They take the Rail Monsoon Mage. Once again, if I just draw a couple lands in a row, we're right back in this. I'll go to 9. 6 draws in a row that weren't lands. I even added one. We're up to 17 today. Mathematically speaking, we should have seen one or 2 by now. Alright, so we're taking a hit. Puts me to 5. I'm probably just dead here. Because even Sandstone Needle, I go to 1. And that assumes they're not going to hit me with an Orcish Bowmaster and can't grow the Nethergoyf somehow. Alright, I'm good. We can go to the next game. Tough draws. We did not have lands coming either. Okay, so, you know, losses happen. Let's just focus on winning the second and third game. I don't know if we want Blast Zone, but it's something you could think about. And then bringing in Defense Grid. Like, do you want more lands versus the Day's Wasteland deck? Blast Zone could also kill Tamiyo Inquisitive Student or Nethergoyf. I would board out Desperate Ritual. So I'm definitely bringing in the Defense Grids. So if you want the Blast Zones, you would board out 2 more Desperate Ritual. I do know that they bring in Cage, but Storm of Memories actually works around Grafdigger's Cage because it exiles the cards. So I don't think I want the Blast Zones. I'm just going to do 2 Defense Grids for 2 Desperate Ritual. Game number 2, we're on the play. Well, we have mana this time. Keep. We'll play our Sandstone Needle and pass the turn. They play Polluted Delta. They fetch Underground Sea and a Ponder. They did not shuffle with the Ponder. Defense Grid. I'm going to try to resolve Defense Grid here. And it does resolve. We'll pass. I thought about playing out the Ruby Medallion first, but I was like, I think if one of them gets countered or forced, I'd prefer if it was Defense Grid. So that is what I did. So we get hit by Thoughtseize. They take my Reckless Impulse. So we need to draw action now. We hit another Ren's Resolve. Let's play it. What's the cost? 2. So let's play the Mountain and we'll play Ruby Medallion and just pass. I don't really want to go all in on one Ren's Resolve. I forgot that I didn't already have a Ruby Medallion in play. They Brainstorm. They plus the Tamiyo. They play Underground Sea. And another Thoughtseize. Brutal. Okay, that hurts. They take Seething Song. Really? You have Surgical too? They Surgical Reckless Impulse. Well, that's not the one in my hand. Odd play by the opponent there. I think you either take the Ren's Resolve from my hand, or you take the Seething Song and then Surgical Seething Song. But we'll see if it works out for them based on what I draw and then what I reveal to my copy of Ren's Resolve. We take our draw, and it's another Ruby Medallion. Not really what we needed. We'll play the Ren's Resolve. Burning Wish and a land. Okay, so we'll play the Medallion. Use the Sandstone Needle, the Seething Song. So you actually have an interesting choice here. You could Galvanic Relay for 5. You could empty the Warrens versus a Tamiyo, which I would not recommend. You could Jessica's Will and continue trying to win this turn. And if I was going to relay, maybe you don't burn the Seething Song. I don't know if I feel strongly about that one. Storm of Memories only has the Ren's Resolve as a reveal. So you could just Jessica's Will and then have 4 mana open. But if the Jessica's Will misses, it's a pretty big feels bad. But I don't know if 4 is very different. I'm sorry. I don't know if 5 is very different than 3 with waiting a full turn. I think I'm going to risk the Jessica's Will. So we'll exile our top 3 cards and hope for the best here. Jessica's Will. We had another Jessica's Will. We'll play it. Exile 3 more. Rail Monsoon Mage. That gives me a chance. We'll play the Rail. Play Rite of Flame. Desperate Ritual in response. Okay. We'll say Tails. Another Rail trigger. I'll say Tails. We win the flip this time. Yes, I would like to transform. And now we will ultimate the Rail. And that's going to do it. Alright, sweet. We'll play Rite of Flame. Rite of Flame. Seething Song. Jessica's Will. Exile 3 more. Burning Wish. And Grape Shot. Target you. Looks like we took game number 2. Nice. Okay, so we'll go to sideboarding. I don't think we're going to make any changes here. I think our deck was fine as is. Game 3 on the draw. How much do you believe? I'm going to choose to be a believer. It didn't work out in game 1. It might work in game 3. But if you hit another mountain, this hand ends up being very good at grinding through all of their interaction. We'll see. Storm of Memories is not terrible. I'll just pass here. They search out an Undercity Sewers. Gets rid of Brainstorm. I would love a basic mountain. That might be my best draw here. They play Thoughtseize. I mean, if I were them, I would probably take the Rite of Flame personally. If we draw Desperate Ritual, that is the sideboard slot that I was iffy on, if you should bring in Blast Zones or not, over Desperate Rituals as land drops. But Desperate Ritual helps trigger Rail. It works well with Storm of Memories. Blast Zone does not. Blast Zone is just Wasteland insurance, in my opinion. Like, you're probably not going to activate it. They do take the Rite of Flame. That's what I would have taken. Looted Delta. And Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. They have 4 cards in their hand. Sandstone Needle. Not a bad draw. Hopefully they don't have a Wasteland, but we'll find out. That is not a Wasteland. I'll take it. Alright, so if I were the opponent, I would have attacked first, created my clue token, and then used the clue in order to see if I could draw a Wasteland. Obviously, it depends on the context of their hand, but looks like they're going to play a Kaito here. Aggressive. Okay. And now they're using the Kaito. They put a Nethergoyf to the graveyard. Ruby Medallion. Ooh. Alright, let's hope it resolves. Ruby Medallion. They Force of Will, exiling Tamiyo Inquisitive Student. We will pass. I thought about playing Ren's Resolve first, trying to hit the land, but then the Ruby Medallion could be hit by Daze, and I didn't like that. They play a Ponder. They did not shuffle with the Ponder. Kaito. They have 5 cards in their hand. They play another Ponder. They put a Surgical Extraction to the graveyard off Kaito, so whatever they kept is pretty good. And a Wasteland. We got buried. There's too much card advantage out of this deck. Another Rite of Flame. In theory, if they don't have anything, we could do something this turn, but I doubt that's the case. They let it go. So you could Seething Song, hope they don't have a Daze, and then Storm of Memories for mana. But I feel like they must have a Consign to Memory. Like, what are the odds that their hand is nothing? Pretty low, right? It's just playing a Reckless Impulse here and passing, you're just not going to get ahead based on the board state. So I think we're going to just jam into a Consign to Memory and or Daze and then lose. And just like that. Unfortunate. I guess I should have mulliganed, but I don't even know if a mulligan beats their open here. Maybe this draw just wasn't good enough, but they had Thoughtseize, Force, Wasteland, Surgical. I mean, they didn't use the Surgical, but I just felt like once I missed that first land drop, there was no recovering. Like, I needed to hit it pretty early to start playing the Reckless Impulse effects, and maybe I should have mulliganed, but I do think the hand was very, very good if you hit. I'm sure I'll get some scathing comments, but I've played this deck a bunch. I know how terrible it can be if you mulligan too much, so it looks bad, but this deck is a risk-reward strategy, so it is what it is. For 1-1, I'll see you in match 3. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match number 3, a no land hand. We will mulligan. This is a keep. We'll get rid of one of the Reckless Impulse effects. Oh no, we're facing Oops All spells. Oh no. Okay, so we didn't get a turn. They're apparently playing Chancellor of the Annex. We're going to concede. They don't get to see what I'm playing today. Sorry. Alright, so we will bring in Leyline of the Void. Get rid of... Jessica's Will in this matchup is mostly just look at the 3 cards. You're not going to get to make a whole lot of mana off it. Alright, so probably the Desperate Rituals. We'll try this. On the play this time. Unfortunately, we can't keep this. You're just not allowed to keep hands without Leyline of the Void versus Oops All spells. This we will keep. Bottom a Mountain. And we'll put Leyline of the Void on the table. Play the Mountain, and we will pass the turn. They play Lotus Petal, Lotus Petal. Fel the Profane is a land, and Jack-o'-lantern. We draw Sandstone Needle, we'll play it, and pass. They play another Fel the Profane as a land. Goblin Charbelcher, so I am dead next turn. Alright, I guess it's time to go. Play the Ruby Medallion, Seething Song, Reckless Impulse. Looks like we're all in on Storm of Memories into Reckless Impulse. Okay. Reckless Impulse. I can't even trigger my rail here. So I think we just have to rail pass and hope they don't have a third mana. That's a bummer. If we could have hit another spell, it would have given us a chance to flip the rail, but we didn't. We're dead to any mana here. They used the Jack-o'-lantern, and they missed on the mana. We draw Wish. I could wish for Shattering Spree to kill the Belcher. So we'll tap the Sandstone Needle, play the Wish, play Tails. Am I crazy if I flip the rail here? Just start plussing? I think that's the move. We'll grab Shattering Spree, kill the Goblin Charbelcher, play the Mountain, plus the rail, pass the turn. Dark Ritual. Another Belcher. No! Oh, not like this. Jeska's Will. We'll plus the rail. Jeska's Will. We'll exile the top 3. We need like Ritual Storm of Memories. We missed. We're probably dead. They don't have the third mana again, but we don't have anything either. Okay, pass the turn. They missed again? Oh, we're just drawing dead. Their deck is full of mana. I'm surprised. No way. They missed again? Alright, so I could Storm of Memories and I have a 33% chance to kill their Belcher. We'll plus on the rail. I can ultimate it next turn. Alright, 33%. What is it? We get the Wish. I don't have another Artifact Destruction spell on the board. Oh, that's a bummer. What can I do? I can't play the Alchemist Gambit because I don't have a second red mana. I guess I could Jeska's Will and hope to hit, like, red source. Hope to hit perfects, I guess. We will exile the top 3. I did not hit perfects. And we have to hope for one more turn in which Oops All Spells does not draw the thing that their deck has the most of in it. And they finally drew it. Ah, bummer. That was a crazy game. Our deck couldn't get out of its own way. Their deck didn't want to win. Sometimes you lose. We're now 1-2. The Gold Sabertooth times the Epic Storm Collection has arrived with 3 full-size tokens showcasing the beloved Dark Ritual, CDH Rogsai, and Legacy of the Epic Storm for just $5. On the backs of these tokens, there's a place for my signature or a custom message. In addition to these sweet tokens, a friendly reminder that all orders that ship from theepicstorm.com also come with a signed Storm token from yours truly. Round number 4 on the play. If my memory serves me correctly, our opponent is a Cradle control player. This seems fine enough. We'll keep. We'll play Sandstone Needle and then pass the turn. They play Once Upon a Time. It's worth noting, I think Magic Online fixed the sideboard issue I was having, where if you watch any of my videos since Daybreak Games took over, the sideboard, anytime you moved a window like this, it would just like turn into a tiny box, and I hated it. It looks like it's back to how it used to be right now. I think I'll play a Sandstone Needle and pass. I could try to force something here, but I don't think I need to. Like, what are they going to do that I care about here? Thoughtseize, I guess, is like the worst thing. But I don't want to jam into an Endurance and lose the game because I got a little anxious. They play Aquarian Ranger, a Bayou, now a Birds of Paradise, and a Green Sun Zenith for 0. Okay. Rail Monsoon Mage will play it. And then Reckless Impulse, trigger Rail, we'll play Desperate Ritual, Tails, no, play the Rite of Flame, Tails, we'll Jeska's Will for cards here, 2 mana floating, Tails, player land, and I think I'll Jeska's Will for mana here, so it's going to cost 2, but it will make 4, no, and so our Storm is 6, but we played Rail this turn. So now with this Runs Resolve, any flip will transform into the ultimate. Runs Resolve. We could play we can play the Rail Monsoon Mage. And now we'll ultimate this one. No, that is not what I wanted to do. I do not want to use the second ability. I would like to use the third ability. And that's the ball game. I'll say Tails. Play Seething Song. Tails. Yes. We will ultimate this Rail Leyline Prodigy as well. Play Rite of Flame. I'm going to try to not use Storm of Memories here, just so that way I can win more quickly, because I don't want to click through all of the Storm triggers and then have to cast all of the spells. So I'm trying my hardest to not cast Storm of Memories. We'll play another Rail Monsoon Mage, Actually, no, that requires more clicking. Let's not do that. Let's play Manamorphose, red. Play the Reckless Impulse from 17. Play Manamorphose, red. Play the Wish from 19. We'll play Defense Grid, Burning Wish, yes, and we'll grab Grape Shot. Target you. Okay, we've taken game number 1 from Cradle Control. Okay, now to the sideboarding. Just like in match number 1, I don't think you're supposed to sideboard here. We will just resubmit. I was thinking about it while we were waiting for Grape Shot to resolve, and I was thinking, like, this is going to be a really sad video if the only deck we beat is Cradle Control twice. So I'd like to want to win this match, but also not to 2-3. I would like to win this match and the following match. Losing to Oops All Spells is something that I would probably expect. Same thing with the Dimir Tempo deck. If you look at Goldfish right now, Dimir Tempo is the top deck in the format, followed by Oops All Spells. And Dimir Tempo just has so much interaction. The deck is just, it's like 30 interactive pieces and then some creatures and lands. It is a lot. Game 2, I cannot keep this. We will mulligan. Against better judgment, I'm going to keep. We will get rid of Storm of Memories. My opponent puts Leyline of the Void onto the table. I'm a genius. A genius that needs to draw a basic mountain. And or Sandstone Needle. They play Ignoble Hierarch. Well, that is a mountain. We'll play the mountain so that way I don't open myself up to Wasteland by playing out the Ancient Tomb. They play Green Sun Zenith for 1. Grabs a Dryad Arbor. Ah, Thoughtseize here is brutal. Goodbye to my Rail Monsoon Mage. Okay. Burning Wish. I think we're about to be an Empty the Warrens gamer. Rite of Flame. Play Seething Song. Manamorphose. Red. Play the Desperate Ritual just for Storm. Burning Wish. Alright. Grab Empty the Warrens. And now it's Goblin time. 12 goblins entering the battlefield. Technically, they're a goblin gamer too. They have Ignoble Hierarch, which is a goblin shaman. They play Birds of Paradise. And White of the Reliquary will attack. They should at least block with the White of the Reliquary. They're going to block 2, sure. I will Ren's Resolve. Manamorphose Burning Wish, okay. So next turn, as of right now, I could Desperate Ritual, Manamorphose, Burning Wish, Grape Shot. They play Quirion Ranger. They untap the Dryad Arbor and replay the Bayou. They attack. Sure, I'll take 4. You draw Jessica's Will. I'm going to just go to combat. Swing. That looks like lethal to me. They're making 3 green mana. Endurance doesn't keep you alive, so what is it? They untap the Ignoble Hierarch and return the Dryad Arbor. I mean, that's still lethal. Orcish Bowmasters puts you to 1. Snuff out. Okay, so this puts them to 1, and then they can die to Grape Shot. They use the White of the Reliquary for Lair of the Hydra, sure. I mean, honestly, this is best case scenario because now I get to win with Grape Shot. We're playing Ruby's from today because we want to win with Grape Shot. So I don't see this as a negative. Red. Play the Burning Wish. Yes. Select Grape Shot. And the opponent concedes the match. Nice. Alright, so we're now 2-2, beating Cradle Control twice. Let's try to win match number 5. With Card Hoarder, renting your favorite combo deck has never been easier. There isn't a more affordable solution for Magic Online. Want to play the deck in this video? Check out the pinned comment below to easily rent the deck from Card Hoarder. Did you know you can rent the Epic Storm from Card Hoarder for as little as 7 tickets a week? The final round, we're on the draw. We'll mulligan this. As a 6, I would probably keep, but not as a 7. This is fine. We'll get rid of Storm of Memories. Oh no, not like this. Turn 1 Thoughtseize. Dimir Temple players are just such bullies, let me tell you. No fun for them. Dimir Temple players probably really enjoy doing their taxes. Things like that. Alphabetizing their grocery lists. They discarded Burning Wish. We'll play Mountain and pass the turn. They pass back, 6 cards in hand. We did not draw the land. I'll send it back. Unstep, they Brainstorm. They play a 2nd copy of Underground Sea. We did not hit the land. I will continue to pass. They play Orcish Bowmasters. It's funny. I feel like for a 17 land deck, this deck has the worst mana issues. It's weird because, like, 17 should be fine, but like there's games where you just flood, and then there's games where you don't draw any. And it feels like there's not a whole lot in between. We'll play Ruby Medallion. The Force of Will exiling Baleful Strix. Okay, you don't usually see a ton of Baleful Strix in Dimir Tempo. They have 3 cards in their hand. They play Polluted Delta, not Wasteland. And now they attack for 4, I'll go to 10. They Brainstorm. Probably should have done that before your land drop. You could have drawn a Wasteland. They have 2 cards in their hand. We'll play Rite of Flame. And Seething Song first. So you could Rail Monsoon Mage and then Seething Song, but you open yourself up to Daze. I really don't want to do that. We'll play Reckless Impulse. They have Fatal Push. No. I don't have an instant to try to flip my Rail. They Tails into 2 lands. So I could try to Burning Wish Grape Shot here just to buy time. They have 1 card. We'll grab the Grape Shot. Target them. 1 at each Orcish Bowmasters, 2 at the Orc Army, and then the rest of them. Alright, they have 1 card in hand. They fetch with the Polluted Delta. They grab Undercity Sewers. They put a Flooded Strand to the graveyard. There's Wasteland. We draw Ancient Tomb. I'll play the Sandstone Needle and just pass the turn. They play Flooded Strand. They can now hardcast a Force of Will. We'll play Ren's Resolve. Jessica's Will here is pretty bad. I could Rite of Flame first, and that would give me 2 open mana for the cards off of Jessica's Will. I'll play Rite of Flame and Jessica's Will for cards. Floating 1 red. I could still play the Mountain from Exile. That was stinky. We'll play a Mountain and Reckless Impulse. Pass that turn. They fetch with Flooded Strand. They grab another Undercity Sewers. Now they ponder. This looks like a Murktide Regent is about to come down. Okay, they have a rather large dragon. We're supposed to try to win. Rail Monsoon Mage. We'll play the Rail. Play Desperate Ritual. Choose Tails. We lose the flip. Anamorphose. Their last card in hand was Snuff Out. Okay, that's fine. Tails. Red. We rip Storm of Memories. I was thinking we were going to Burning Wish into it, but then we just drew it. Okay. Storm of Memories for 5. Manamorphose. Red. Draws another Burning Wish. The Grape Shot for 7. It's 1 short. If I say no, does it stay in the graveyard? That's a question I have here. I'm going to say no for science. Nope, it got exiled anyway. Okay. So just worst case scenario. I have to win with Empty the Warrens plus Alchemist Gambit. It's good to know how the cards work, though. I guess I probably could have just read them better, but where's the fun in that? Okay, so we'll exile the top 3 with the Jessica's Will. Play Rite of Flame, Seething Song, Burning Wish. So Alchemist Gambit is 3, Empty the Warrens is 4, so that's 7. Burning Wish would be 9. So I have enough mana to do everything I need to right now. So we'll grab Alchemist Gambit. We'll grab the Burning Wish. Or cast the Burning Wish. Grab the Empty the Warrens. Take an extra turn. And Empty the Warrens for 32 goblins. Sweet. And now we get to take an extra turn. Play the Mountain from Exile for the value. And we'll attack this Dimir Temple player to death. Alright, 1 more game is what we need here. Let's see if we can make it happen. We'll bring in Defense Grid. You know what? Let's just try it for the science. I will bring in Blast Zone as just a colorless land. Okay, we will keep... Desperate Ritual would have been good in this hand, but Blast Zone isn't terrible. They play Underground Sea, and they pass. We'll play Mountain and send it back. Polluted Delta. Redrew another Mountain. Let's attempt a Ren's Resolve. They fetch in response with the Polluted Delta. Hardcast Daze. Is that what this is? It is. Okay. We will pass back to them. They play Flooded Strand and Brainstorm. We'll play our 3rd land and try another Ren's Resolve. Alright, those are cards that we will play next turn. They Surveil Wasteland to the graveyard. They did not play a land. We'll begin on Rite of Flame. Play the Mountain. Rail Monsoon Mage. They Hydroblast, okay. We'll play another Reckless Impulse. Seething Song, Storm of Memories. We'll see how it goes. Orcish Bowmasters, they have 4 cards. They're about to take a draw step, though, so they are up to 5 here. Ouch. We'll play Rite of Flame and Rail Monsoon Mage from hand. We'll attempt a Seething Song. Say Tails. Do not flip. Seething Song. It's a pretty juicy Force of Will target with a Storm of Memories in exile. We will Reckless Impulse. And they snuff out. Okay. We'll say Tails. Reckless Impulse. Into another Rail Monsoon Mage. We'll play the Rail. And let's try a Storm of Memories. They could have a Consign to Memory, but we just have to play it here. And it looks like they do, and they're going to replicate. Okay, I still get to play a card off of Storm of Memories. I don't know what it is, but it's a card. They're going to Force of Negation the Storm of Memories. All right, they have 1 card in their hand. We'll play Burning Wish, trigger the Rail. We'll say Tails. We win the flip. Ooh, I'm actually 1 short of ultimating here. I would have guessed I had it. We'll grab Jeska's Will. And then let's kill their 2 creatures here. Pass the turn. They play a land. We'll play Sandstone Needle plus the Rail. And I think we'll just pass. I don't need to do anything this turn. Another Bowmasters. Yep. Okay. So the Rail is not going to ultimate next turn. Well, I guess it wasn't going to ultimate next turn anyway, but in 2 turns, I was hoping. Now they Brainstorm. Fetching with the Polluted Delta. They Surveil with Undercity Sewers. Gets rid of Basic Island. They attack the Rail Leyline Prodigy. Murktide Regent. Okay. You have a rather large dragon. We'll plus the Rail. In an effort to not get clogged. Actually, I guess I can just tap the Blast Zone. I don't need to play the Ancient Tomb. We'll exile the top 3. Ruby Medallion, Storm of Memories. So we'll play the Ancient Tomb. Play Ruby Medallion. Play the Burning Wish for Storm. Yes. We'll grab another Storm of Memories, I think. And now we'll play this one from exile. Storm is 4. Play Rite of Flame. Jeska's Will for cards. Burning Wish, Ren's Resolve, Mountain, another Rite of Flame. And the last Storm of Memories is a Ren's Resolve. Okay. Storm is 8. Looks like I might as well play a couple cards here to fill the graveyard. We had a couple lands. Ren's Resolve. We will Storm of Memories. This is guaranteed to hit the Seething Song in there, and it does. Okay, so now we're up to 6. Ren's Resolve again. Reckless Impulse. I wasn't looking at their life total. I could have won, I think, without playing the second Storm of Memories there. They're at 13. Our Storm count's already pretty high, and I had a Burning Wish in exile. I probably could have just gone right into the Grape Shot. But there's a lot going on, and I did not notice their life totals. That's on me. Bowmaster triggers. Something that just does not matter here. Another Seething Song. All the mana in the world. Ren's Resolve. Another Ren's Resolve. Firm is over 20. We'll play Seething Song. Another Seething Song. Seething Song. Manamorphose. We'll let them trigger their Bowmasters again. It just doesn't matter. Firm is 25. And now we can play Burning Wish. Yes. Grab the Grape Shot. Target you. We did it, team. We did it. We beat Dimir Tempo. Tell all of your friends it is possible. Alright, so we beat Cradle Control twice. We beat Dimir Tempo once. We lost to Dimir Tempo once. And then we had a really awkward Game 2 versus Oops All Spells. Yeah, I mean, that was a Legacy League. That's what I can say about that. Alright, so a Heroes 3-2 finish. Would I change anything about the deck list? I don't know if there is anything to change. I liked land 17, I think. I mean, the games we lost, we didn't hit lands. There's even some argument to even going up to 18. I just don't know what you cut. I think you have to get rid of, like, 1 Jeska's Will, and you go down to 2 of those. But then you risk games where you flood out real hard. The alternative is running some of the Canopy lands, but then you open yourself up to Wasteland even more. And I don't think you want that. One of the strengths of Ruby Storm is ignoring Wasteland. We're already playing Sandstone Needle. There's people out there that are trying to not lose the Wasteland so hard that they just run 13 basic mountains. I don't agree with that, but those individuals do exist. I liked the deck list. I don't know what else to say. I'd probably run back the same 75 tomorrow. If I'm wrong or if you have feedback, tell me why in the comment section down below. I really would love to hear from you, but that's all I've got for today. So thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day. And as always, keep storming. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to support the channel. After you do that, open up our description where you can find all of our social media networks, including our Discord, where you can discuss today's deck in that Discord with me and tons of other combo masterminds. It's absolutely free to join, and it's certainly worth your while.